make the circles with your wrists. So you can point the fingers down and turn to the backs of the hands. And take that the opposite direction. And then take the hands next to the hips. If your legs are crossed, change the cross of the legs. And then just take the arms up by the ears, right hand down, just a side bend. And then get some movement in that top arm. So take it down towards the floor and start to make a couple circles that direction. And then take that the other way. And then reach the arm back by the ear, come back to center, both arms up and over to the other side. Just pausing there in that side bend. And then take the top arm towards the floor, a couple circles that direction. And then the opposite way. And then reach the arm up by the ear, come back to center, both arms up, lower the arms down. We'll take a little cat-cow here with the spine. So inhale, lift the chest, maybe take the gaze up. And exhale, curl and round as you lean back. Inhale, lift the chest, spread the collarbones. Exhale, curl and round. Inhale, lift and extend. And exhale, curl and round. And then just come back up to neutral. We're gonna come onto the back, and if you have a block, bring it with you. If not, that's okay, you can do this without a block. So make your way onto your back and extend the legs up towards the ceiling. You'll take the block, I like the medium setting between the feet. So your feet are roughly hips distance apart if you have the block. Otherwise, just squeeze your legs together like you have one giant leg. Arms can go by the sides, and then start to take circles with the feet as if you could draw circles on the ceiling. And try and keep the pelvis from moving too much, which means probably you need to go a little slower and the circles need to be a little smaller. So trying to keep that pelvis from rocking side to side, front to back, it's gonna move a little bit. Really trying to engage the low belly as you find these slow circles. And then take that the other direction, continuing to gently squeeze the block with the feet, feeling that hugging in towards the midline. And then bend the knees. You can take that block off to the side and then make your way to tabletop. So you can rock up and down along the length of the spine or just roll off to the side. And then just wiggle your hips side to side. And then come to neutral. Inhale, lengthen the chest forward. And exhale, curl and round. Inhale, extend. Exhale, curl and round. Inhale, extend. Exhale, curl and round. And then come back to neutral. Take your right leg up and back so it's parallel to the mat. And then bend the knee so it's like at a right angle. Yep. And then little pulses of the right heel up towards the ceiling. So it's not going to be a very big movement. It's one of those things that looks like it shouldn't be a problem, and then you start to do it for a while and you maybe start to feel a little burn. And then re-straighten that leg, lower it back to tabletop. Wiggle your hips side to side. And then come back to neutral, left leg up and back. Bend the knee, little pulses. And then extend that leg straight out, lower it to table, wiggle your hips side to side. And then come into child's pose. Just take the hips back and relax there for several breaths. Then come back up to tabletop. Kick your right foot over to the right, making that little kickstand with your right shin. Plant your right palm and extend your left leg back. Reach the left arm up towards the ceiling. And you can see there, if you want, you can lift the left leg so it's parallel to the mat. Same idea, little tiny pulses of that leg up towards the ceiling. Just maybe a couple inches. We're working on strengthening all the little muscles that stabilize the different parts of the hip. And then lower that leg down, come through tabletop, and spin over to the other side, extending that right leg back, right arm up. Lift that right leg, and then little pulses. Every time we do a class like this, I feel like it's like Jane Fonda taking us back to the 80s. I know my young students wouldn't even get that reference. Lower that foot down, spin back to tabletop. Take a quick child's pose, just a couple of breaths here to get off the hands. And then come up through tabletop and into your first downward facing dog. Just take some movement here. And then just find some stillness. Walk your feet forward to your hands, forward fold at the front of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale all the way up to standing. And exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, straight to downward facing dog. Just holding there. Just enjoying the familiarity of this pose. And then walk your feet forward to your hands. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step to plank. Take an inhale and plank. Exhale, drop your knees lower to your belly. Inhale for cobra, lift head and shoulders. And exhale, lower down, press through tabletop to downward facing things about practicing at home is sometimes your pets are right in the way when you're trying to do things. They just want to be close to you. And then walk your feet forward to your hands, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale all the way to standing. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step to plank. Take an inhale in plank. Exhale, lower to your belly. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Smooth, soft breath. Letting that breath help you find ease in this pose where there's some effort. And then walk your feet forward to your hands, forward fold front of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, right foot back for a lunge, right knee down to the mat. Inhale, arms up by the ears. Exhale, frame the foot, step to downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, foot between the hands. Inhale, crescent this time, arms by the ears. Exhale, frame the foot, back foot forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up to standing. Exhale, fold back forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, left foot back, left knee down. Inhale, arms by the ears. Exhale, frame the foot, step to down dog. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, foot between the hands. Inhale, crescent, arms by the ears. Exhale, frame the foot, back foot forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up to standing. And exhale, hands to the heart. Then you just take your arms down by the sides. And we're gonna do a little balance work. You can stand on a block if you have a block, or if you're like, I don't feel steady on the mat, you're just gonna stay on the mat. You're at home, so you're welcome to find wall space if you want a little support there. So wherever you are, we're gonna start on the left leg. So left foot can be on the block or just on the mat. Take your hands to your hips, especially if you're on that block. Try and lift that right hip bone up so your hips are parallel to the floor. And then once you find that, take your right leg forward. We're going to take this really slowly. So cross that leg to the left across the body. It's not going to be a big movement. And then bring it back to its neutral position in front of you. We'll do 2 more like that. Take it to the left. Back to neutral. Over to the left. And back to neutral. And then you can just step down on your right foot, step off the block if you're on the block, and change sides. So now you're on your right foot. Do I have that right? I'm all discombobulated today. Take your left leg forward and cross it over to your right. And then bring it back to neutral. Over to the right. Back to neutral. Over to the right. And then back to neutral. And lower that down. And then you can just come back to mountain pose at the front of the mat, taking your block out of the way if you have one. So grounding through both feet, just enjoying having both feet on the mat for a moment. Take an inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, step straight to downward facing dog. And just take a couple breaths here. And then take your right leg up and back. Bring the foot between the hands, spin the back heel down, and come up to warrior two, arms to a T. And then take your right forearm to your thigh and your left arm by the ear. Now you can stay right there, or if you want, you can take the hand to the outside of the foot, either to the mat or maybe to a block. And actually take the left arm by the ear. I think I like that better. And then once you have that right hand down, press the lower leg and the arm into each other. So you feel that resistance of leg and arm. So right leg and right arm are connecting. And then come back up to warrior two. Take your hands down, frame your foot your way to downward facing dog, vinyasa or skip it. Oh, I know you guys are vinyasa takers. You like a challenge. Take a couple breaths. And then take your left leg up and back. Bring the foot between the hands, spin the back heel down, up to warrior two. And then left forearm to thigh, right arm by the ear. And then take that left hand to the pinky toe edge of the foot. So maybe that left hand's resting on the mat or a block. And then resist the left arm into the left leg and the left leg into the arm. So you feel that resistance between the two of them. Oh, that's so subtle, but it's hard. At least for me it is. Come back to your warrior two. Take your hands down, frame your front foot, and make your way to down dog, however you like to get there. And then take your right leg up and back again. Bring the foot between the hands, spin the back heel down, warrior two again. Starting the same way, so right forearm to thigh, left arm by the ear. But the right hand's gonna be different this time. So the right hand is gonna come to the inside of your right foot, either to the mat or the block. So inner arch is where that lands. And then same thing, resist arm and leg into each other. I notice if you're holding your breath, I think I was holding my breath. Are you still breathing? And then come back to warrior two. Hands frame your front foot, vinyasa or downward facing dog. Couple breaths in down dog before we do the other side. I'm gonna take the left leg up and back. Bring the foot between the hands, bend the back heel down, warrior two. And then take the left forearm to thigh, right arm by the ear. And then take that left hand to the inside of your left foot, either to the mat or block, and resist the leg and the arm into each other. And then press into both feet, come back to warrior two. Hands frame the front foot, vinyasa or downward facing dog. You have 5 breaths in down dog once you land there. And then drop your knees down to the mat. Just like we did in the beginning, kick your right foot to the right, plant your right hand and extend your left leg back. This time left arm reaching up. And then take your right hand and walk it away from your right knee like a handprint. So it's a slightly longer stance. It's gonna feel a little strange. And then lift your left leg parallel to the mat. Start to bend the left leg and lower it as you lower the hips towards the mat to a hover. And then push into the right hand, lift the hips, straighten that leg and lift it. Good, and then bend the knee, lower and hover. You guys have done this one before, I can tell. Lift the hips, lift the leg and straighten it. One more on this side, lower and hover. Good, press back up, extend the leg. Lower the foot down, spin through tabletop, and make your way to the other side. Take the right leg back, right arm up. Walk that left hand away from the left knee a little bit. Lift the right leg so it's parallel to the mat. Bend the right leg, lower it as you lower the hips and hover. Press into the left hand, lift the hips, extend the right leg and lift it. Lower the leg, hover the hip. Come back up, extend the leg. Last one, lower and hover. And then back up, extend the leg. Lower the right foot down, spin to tabletop. Bring your big toes together, sit back into child's pose. Ooh, just absorb that one. It's hard, it's harder than it looks. Take a couple of breaths, let the breath smooth out. And then come back up into downward facing dog. Take your right leg up and back. Bring the foot between the hands, spin the back heel down and come up to warrior two. And then take your right forearm to your thigh, left arm by the ear. And then bring the left hand to the hip. You can hang out right here if you want. We're gonna come into half moon, that balancing pose. So your right hand can come to the mat or a block as you lift your left leg up and back. Maybe that left arm reaches towards the ceiling. And then maybe if you want to try it like we did earlier in gait, you're going to pulse that left leg up towards the ceiling. Ooh, that makes it a little harder, right? Got to figure out how to keep your balance as you're finding that movement. I like that little added challenge. Bring that left leg to stillness if you're pulsing. Little right bend in your right knee, come to warrior two. Pause there for a moment, just ground through both feet. And then take your hands down and step straight to downward facing dog. Give yourself a break, that pose is hard. And take your left leg up and back. Bring the foot between the hands, spin the back heel down. Warrior two. Left forearm to thigh, right arm by the ear. And then right hand to hip. Again, you can stay here, take the left hand under the shoulder to the mat or a block as you take your right leg up and back. And then maybe the right arm reaches up. And maybe you pulse the right leg. Little pulses towards the ceiling. And then bring the right leg to stillness. Little bend in the left knee back to warrior two. Pause in warrior two. And then take your hands down, step back to downward facing dog. This is the last down dog, so if you want to take a vinyasa, feel free to flow through with your breath, no rush. And then drop your knees for table and just make your way to seated. So you can cross the shins or take the hips to the side and extend the legs straight out in front of you. And then bend the right knee, sole of the right foot flat to the mat. Cross the right foot over the left leg. And then bend the left leg. So if this isn't for you today, I'll give you another option. And then once you have that, take your feet away from each other and stack your knees. You're like, that is not happening in my body. You can be back in a cross-leg position, just like we started class. So it's up to you. Just notice how you're feeling today. And then you can stay upright, or if you like, you can walk the hands forward and gently fold forward. But notice with your knees stacked like this, you're not going to fold very far. Just anatomically impossible. So give yourself grace and just notice the sensations. And walk the hands back, lift the chest. Just take the hands next to the hips, lean back and do a little can-can, change the cross of the legs. Taking the left knee on top, whatever position you had before, and then again, if you want, walking the hands forward and gently folding. And then wherever you land, just focus on the breath. Let the rhythm be soft and fluid. And let that fluidity of the breath seep into the rest of your body. Then walk the hands back, lift the chest. Unwind the legs and just make your way to the front of the mat if you're not already there. And grab your block again if you have a block. And then roll yourself all the way back to your back with the knees bent. So it's like you are in bridge with your legs. Now you can do this without a block. It's just going to be a different sensation. So if you don't have a block, you're going to keep your hips right where they are on the mat. If you have the block, press into the feet, lift the hips, and take that block on the medium setting underneath the sacrum. So if that feels uncomfortable, you're going to either lower the block to low. Again, it's not quite the same sensation, or you can get rid of the block. Yeah, you can try like rolling up something underneath. Just want to make sure you feel stable if you do that. So hug your left knee towards your chest. Hands can go behind the left thigh or around the left shin. And then make sure you feel really steady on that block and take your right leg up towards the ceiling. If you try to do that and you feel unsteady, take the feet down, readjust your block. And then once you have that, keep the right leg straight, just lower it towards the mat. It's not gonna touch, just stop where you find a place where you meet resistance in the front of your right hip. So for me, my right foot is, I don't know, a foot above the mat there. And then take little pulses with your right leg up towards the ceiling, just like we've been doing, yeah? And then just release the right leg now, let the back of the right heel rest on the mat. So that right leg's gonna be soft and straight. Your right leg is straight, there you go, you got it. And then rebend the right knee, just bring the sole of the right foot to the mat. Release the left leg and take the left foot to the mat. So both feet are on the mat here. And then hug the right knee towards the chest. Hands behind thigh or around the shin. And then take the left leg straight up towards the ceiling. Keep the left leg straight as you lower it to that point where you meet resistance in the front of the left hip. Again, it's elevated above the mat. And then take your little pulses up towards the ceiling. And then release the effort. Keep that left leg straight, but let the back of the left heel rest down on the And then bend the left knee, sole of the foot to the mat. Drop the right foot back to the mat. So both feet are down. And then press into the feet, lift the hips. Take the block out from underneath you. And just let the hips come down to the mat. And just pause there. So bridge set up. Hips are down, spine is neutral. You've been elevated on that block for a bit. So just enjoy this for several breaths. And then keep the knees bent. Just walk your feet a little wider than your hips. Take your arms to a T and drop your knees over to the right. And then bring them through center and drop them over to the left. Just starting to take that windshield wiper action at your own pace, taking your knees side to side. And bring the knees back to center, hug them towards the chest. Take your arms to a T and drop the legs over to the right for a simple twist. And then draw the knees up through center and take them over to the left. And then draw the knees up to center and hug them towards the chest. You can stay right there, or if you'd like, extend both legs up towards the ceiling as if you're doing legs up the wall. You have about a minute here. If it ever gets to be too much or you're just too uncomfortable, just hug the knees back in. And bend the knees, hug them towards the chest. And they're holding there, coming into happy baby. Maybe take a gentle rock side to side. And hug your knees towards your chest. Give yourself a hug. Then release and make your way into Shavasana. Just getting anything you'd like to support you, pillows or blankets. Just knowing that being still, being able to relax and let go takes practice just like the rest of what we've done today. So give yourself this time just to practice resting. Allow your body to know what it feels like to relax. Start to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Circle your ankles and wrists. Put your arms by your ears, big stretch. And then roll off to one side, pause there with your eyes closed. Give yourself the same care and attention that you give to others, and watch yourself bloom. Press into your top hand, make your way up to a comfortable seat, eyes closed, and just let your hands rest in your lap. We'll end with a breathing exercise. Inhale for 6 and exhale for 4. We'll do 2 cycles of breath and then I'll start to count. We'll take an inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. And then inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth, let it go. And just pause here to notice how you feel. And then reach your arms up by your ears, big stretch. And draw the hands down to the heart. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.